So what are we going to use? Let's use this profile and explain a little bit better what it is, what is not, and how we are going to be able to use it successfully when we are to understand our teams, but also how we integrate that in our processes to deal with internal clients and external clients. That's going to be used in different settings. We can use that when we want to deal with the customers, we want to deal with employees, we want to manage app or lead app in the scale. When we are dealing with business partners, for example, that's something that we can use successfully. So these profiles, they have four main categories of four main classifications that we can use. The first one is a dominant profile. A dominant profile has to do with people who are oriented to fast results, and they want to basically make decisions and be in control of situations whenever they can. They feel very comfortable with it. In fact, they thrive when they see that they can manage and they can have a real impact on decisions, and that's something they feel very comfortable with. How can we tell that somebody behaves in a dominant way? Not is a dominant person, but behaves in a dominant way. Sometimes we can identify those things just by the way people talk, by the way they sit, occupying space, by the way they speak in a very loud tone, in a very firm way, when they use very direct approaches. The kind of vocabulary they use is oriented mainly to that point of view, to exercise an impact straight away, to dominate the conversation, to take charge when they join us. The other aspect is, or the other behavior that we want be to look at is influence. People who are very good with creativity, innovation, people that enjoy starting many projects, doing a million things at the same time. The good thing, those people are natural promoters. They will sell almost anything to anybody. And we need those people when we want to push forward, we want to explain projects, we want people to gain traction, to get on board with projects. That's a fantastic behavior to look at. The downside of that is that people who are very innovative and very creative, they have a hard time following process. So what we notice is that they have a very, very difficult time trying to get people to feel the CRMs, to put all the data into the system, to follow through different processes. That's not something they particularly enjoy. And when the conversation gets a little bit too intense, when the conversation gets a little bit too deep, they disconnect. They don't like it at all. So we like to keep things a little bit light with this profile. Then we have the steady profile. The steady profiles are people that are very friendly. They enjoy conversation. They are like moms and dads in the team. They like everybody to feel comfortable. Is it okay? Is the temperature of the room good? Do you need a coffee? Can I do something for you? Can I give you any particular support? That's the kind of behavior that puts a team together, that draws the team together. The downside is that they are not so good with confrontation. As you know, we need confrontation in many different aspects. We need confrontation, for example, when it comes to unacceptable deadlines or when it comes to resolve conflict. And the downside as well of this behavior is that normally, because they are so accommodating and they are so flexible and they do enjoy helping other people, they become a little like the rubbish truck in a way. All the tasks that people cannot do, they can ask, so Daniela, do you mind to help me with this? Can you do this for me? And for them, it's very hard saying no. I'm so sorry, Nathan, but you know what? I'm too busy. I can't accommodate these. My workload is crazy. Normally, they're going to say yes. And that's going to create two problems. They're going to feel guilty because they should have said no and they know it. And they're going to have to deal with that accumulation of tasks. So those profiles get a little bit overworked and overloaded. And every now and again, they will explode unless we help them to manage that. Then we got the conscientious behavior. Those people who, instead of being oriented to results or to innovation and creativity, or instead of being so focused on relationships, they are more focused on details, on facts, processes. They enjoy more when they have a full picture and they have the details as well. Those are the ones who are going to review all the comments, all the statistics, all the protocols. They're going to go through the different websites, and they're going to try to make sure that they understand everything, have that big picture, they have a long term in range, and they want to make sure that there's nothing else they have to look into. What are the decision-making processes in those 4 different categories? The main differences are the conscientious and the steady profiles. They are slow decision makers. Not worse, not better, they're different. They need longer time to make decisions, to understand, to purchase, to make decisions, to sell. They just need a bit more space. So we need to take that into account. When we want to sell a product, we want to launch something, we want to create change in an organization, we want to make sure that we give them that time. For the relational ones, those that we call green or steady, they're going to need that extra closeness. We need to build rapport with them first. We need to build the relationship, and only then they're going to allow us to sell to them that change that we want to implement. In the case of the conscientious profile, we will give them the information. We just leave it with them. They don't like for us to sell to them. They want us to allow them to buy. So last decision makers, we need to give them more space, and we need to make sure that we are allowing that time for them to analyze, consider, study. That's the vocabulary they enjoy. Analyze, consider. Give me just time. Absolutely. Please, by all means, have a look at your own time, and then you let me know when you want to discuss this. With the influence profile, it's fast decision making. They don't like to drag things along. They enjoy to keep things very energetic, very upbeat, and they tolerate, they feel okay with a gentle push. As long as it's fun and friendly, and there's some sort of camaraderie going on, and it makes them feel popular, or they can see how they can become the star in their company, in their department, they accommodate, or they feel okay with us pushing a little bit for a close. Does that make sense? Happy with that? Also, with a dominant profile, they do like the challenge. They do like the push. So with them, we can go for the kill. We can go for the close. We can be specific. We can challenge them, as long as they feel okay, and we are not making them look bad in front of the bosses or departments. As long as they don't lose face, they do like that idea. Fast decision makers versus slow decision makers. That's something we want to make sure that we understand. We want to make sure that we cater for them in the way we communicate. Task-oriented styles, we have 2 of those. The dominant and the conscientious, they care about the tasks. They care about respecting the process, following the deadline, getting the result. People-oriented styles, those are going to be the innovative, the influential, and the steady. So if we want to build a team together, best profiles that we're going to get are the steady and also the influential. We're going to get people who like people, who are good with people, and they're going to be able to motivate, to persuade. They're going to be able to keep their team together and deal well with uncertainty and deal well with problems that are going to come along the way. Not so much with conscientious profiles and with dominant profiles, because they do struggle a little bit more with human relationships. They focus a bit more on the task at hand than the person. They care about the dominant, give me the money, show me the money, get it done. And with the conscientious profile is different, because they focus on doing things right, following the protocol, following the process, how this has been done in the past. Let's follow the same strategy there. So these are things that we want to bear in mind when we sell to them, when we train them, when we look into match a job description to our behavioral style, so it's a good match for them and they perform well in the future. Why does this matter in our workplace? What do you think? First of all, we have to create a common language. We have to make sure that people understand each other, so they anticipate problems in communication. We don't fall through the cracks, and we make sure that we are not antagonizing unnecessarily executives between one department and the other. And when we want to get the best out of people, we're going to communicate in their preferred behavior. We're going to speak their behavior. We're not going to express ourselves just the way we like to express ourselves. We're going to try to make it in their own times, in their own decision-making time. That's going to improve communication, it's going to improve morale, it's going to help us to build cohesive teams together. How do we want to do this? Well, we're going to discuss in our next module after the break, we're going to discuss this thing in management, how we can improve the way we unlock potential in our teams, how we can extract the best out of teams, we can engage them further, and we can make sure that they stay motivated and committed, and they actually enjoy the way we lead them. Does that sound good? Looking forward to that? Excellent.